Kenny here with Gardening Simplified. It is February 6th. I'm in my workshop here and I'm going to plant some herbs. Now, springtime isn't that far away. Now, if you want to actually say the date of spring, March 21st or somewhere around there. But when you go to planting, and we're planning to get a lot of these sets ready. We want our seedlings up big enough so we can put them out once it warms up. And it's pretty cold. Last night it was down into the 20s, which for y'all up north, you can say that's probably not pretty cold. But anyway, if you're planning to plant herbs and you're planning to grow them from seed, a lot of your herbs take a long time to get up to size. Now, you can go out and buy them if that's what you want to do. But me particularly, that's not what I want to do. Now, I have a rosemary seed. This is just one of your cheaper seed packs from your big box stores. Now, I have a rosemary plant, but it got frozen pretty hard from the cool weather back in January, and it doesn't look like it'll recover. It might, but it might not. But why wait and see? Because it might be always good to have an extra rosemary plant or two. So rosemary is going to be one of these I'm going to be planting today. Now, some of these I already have growing. I have my broadleaf sage, so I can just set that one aside. And I can go through here. I've got my true oregano. So once I find all those seeds, which I probably got them all in this pack here, but we'll put it to the side because we won't be needing to decide between those. But there's a lot of things that I plan to grow. I want to grow chamomile this year again because mine was in a bad spot last year and we really didn't harvest anything off it. So that's going to be one of those that we're going to plant. They're definitely going to have dill because everybody likes dill in their pickles and such. And it looks like we got another broadleaf sage. We'll move that to the side. Now, we have some parsley going, but we're probably going to plant some more. Now, this oregano variety here, this being we've already got our other oregano, we'll put that to the side. We're going to plant some different varieties of basil. Now, I didn't particularly care for the dark purple last year, so we're not going to plant any of it this year. We'll get this other sage out of here. We are going to plant some more thyme. Now, I have another variety, so I might plant it. We have different varieties of basil. Now, this year I have a lime basil, which I'm going to plant. I'm planning to plant some peppermint. I'm going to try to get some Ignacia going. I don't think I didn't have good luck with it last year, but I'm going to try again. I have a pack of rosemary that I planted last year and it didn't do too well, so we'll see how that goes. We might just use the new seed. But some other ones, some borage. We have some lemon balm and let's see, some peppermint, marjoram. We'll try that, and let's see, that's some more borage. A lot of these are duplicates, but anyway, like I say, we're going to go through and we're going to plant a lot of these seeds and see if we can't get a better crop this year. Because like I say, last year we didn't have very good germination. My wormwood, my summer savory, my catnip, my caraway, my cumin, and my hyssop. None of these, I got them started, but I didn't water correct on the few that did come up, and I ended up with a failure on that. So we're going to try these again, but we're going to put in a little more effort this year. But anyway, let me get started. But what I'm hoping is this gives you an idea of some of the herbs that you might grow. Preferably you grow herbs that you use. Now some of these herbs have properties as far so you can use them for different types of medical purposes. So as far as some of you know pretty much a lot of these, your Ignacia, which is a good immune booster, different things like that. But anyway, we're going to plant these, and of course, if you're planting some herbs, and especially if you're planting different ones this year, let me know in the comments what you might be growing. And now, if you're up in one of the cooler places, now I'm in 8B, which I always say it's not so much the region; it's your last frost date. But in coincidence with that, if you do live up in, say, zone 5 or somewhere like that, definitely your last frost date's going to be later. Now, a lot of these, because they're so slow growing, they can be put into your windowsill. Now, a lot of things down here in our zone, because we don't really get those cold temperatures, like our thyme, it'll go through the winter, or oregano, it'll go through the winter, you know, stuff like that. So, and that's something to consider too before you put it out. But let me get started. As with all of my seeds I start, of course I pick out a little piece of stick that might have come with my peat moss. But as with all of them, I use a 50-50 sifted compost and peat moss mixture. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to fill these containers. Now when I fill these containers, I take and I don't pack in hard, but I do pack in the mixture so that it's going to be firm when I start to take these plants out. And so what I'll do is I'll just go down here and push it into the cell trays. Continue to take out the sticks, and then I'll come back and I'll just kind of push down that on the top. I'm not trying to get it just super packed in there. I just want a solid mix in my cell tray. So, but anyway, that's what we'll do to start and get ready. I'll finish this up and level off these trays. Okay, I've got all my seeds planted in here. Now, when you're doing the herbs, pay close attention to the planting depth, because some seeds, let's say chamomile, for instance. Now, this seed pack here is going to say depth, do not cover. And if you're using a slightly coarse media, which this chamomile isn't here, but that was one I give you for instance. Some seeds actually need light to germinate, and they don't want to be underneath the soil. They just want to kind of lay there, or maybe they'll fit in a little groove. And that's why it's best whenever you're going to start your herbs, use some type of cell tray that you have a dome to go over it so it keeps moisture there. Now what I'm going to do is water these in. Now, you probably haven't seen this in a while, but this is and there's been a few days between this video when I started it, so it's kind of dried out. But this is my little water, just a little tube with a bolt zip tied to the end of it, and I can come in here and water these real light without worrying about displacing my seeds. So you might want to fix you up a little apparatus like this. A lot of times when I'm planting, well, anytime I'm planting seeds, I always use this method. Once your seeds start coming up, you can and they get a little bit of root into the soil, you don't have to worry about disturbing them, moving them around. So you can possibly use water can with a fine nozzle or you know, something else to keep that from, that you won't have to worry about moving those seeds around anymore, because the roots will hold them in place. But to begin with, like I say, this is the way I do. Some people, they just bottom water so it soaks up and gets it moist in there. Now I do make sure I get these good and moist. The extra moisture is going to drain down into the tray, and it'll keep all this moist and through the time to germinate. So once you moisten this to start out with, you shouldn't have to moisten it again. Like I say, it'll stay in there. That dome keeps that moisture in, and you can kind of pay attention to it to see if there's drop or there's a fog or moisture on the top of the dome. And now normally I got to move my tags, because when they set right at the edge, they tend to hold my top up. So I'm just going to move these in, and I'll move them out later. But what I'm going to do with this, I'll just set it over on my shelf like I normally do, and we'll have this all nice and pretty and germinated here in just a short bit. And while we're doing this, I'll take us out there and we'll take a look and see how our tomato transplants are doing. But let me get this over on the shelf. Okay, I have it on the shelf. This right here, it'll get morning sun. It warms it up some, and it's inside where it's climate controlled. Now I've got some other seeds in here. I'm growing me, I got another grapefruit, and I've got a blood orange, and neither one of them seem to be doing very good. So we'll have to just keep an eye on them. Okay, we're out here at our little grow light station, and this is, I've got my shop doors up so the wind can blow in. It's not real cold today, so that'll do good. I have these all on the heat pads, and my broccoli here, it needs to be put outside. But here's the tomatoes we started on the 30th, so just a few days back, a little over a week. Now our peppers, neither one of them has started coming up, but in that video, as I say, peppers can take quite a while to germinate. What I'm probably going to do is move this tray out of here and put my dome back on, because it really would do better with the moisture. Now this one here has a dome. You can see that there's a water droplet on top of it right there, so that tells you it's got plenty of moisture in there. Now normally I don't germinate these on heat. I normally germinate them inside my climate controlled area. Now we already got pest control working here. Got them running around looking for them some food. But anyway, we're doing good on our growing. We have some cucumbers up here, and we have our grapefruit, and this is our little single seed challenge. And if you don't know about that, you might look at my video on the single seed challenge. But this thing here is it's actually popping up its third set of leaves, and I've got a few other ones there, but this is the one I'm really watching. So anyway, and propagating a lot of figs out here. But anyway, I hope this is helpful. I hope you get out there, you start planting you some herbs, and like I say, you can start those inside, and you can grow them on your windowsill. You don't have to have garden space outside. You just have to have a window where you can get fairly decent amount of sun during the day. If you want to see more, well, hit that subscribe button. Hit the bell so you'll be notified. And if you like it, give it a big thumbs up and share this video. Happy gardening.